6-point game. Things tightening up here in the third. Mitchell floats it, and it's intercepted by Westbeld.
The Indiana Fever came out firing on all cylinders and made sure Phoenix left town knowing exactly what kind of team they're dealing with. And this wasn't just any ordinary regular season win. It felt like a statement, a declaration that this Fever squad is finding its identity, locking into a rhythm, and making noise in a way that's impossible to ignore. From the opening tip, the Fever played with a sense of urgency, moving the ball with crisp passes, setting hard screens, and attacking the rim with confidence. And while the Mercury had their moments, Indiana was relentless in matching every run with firepower of their own. Ari McDonald, who has been waiting for her breakout moment, finally seized the spotlight and went nuclear, delivering a career-high performance that electrified the crowd and left fans buzzing about her future role on this roster. She was absolutely cooking all night, pulling up with confidence, slashing to the rim, and knocking down free throws with ease, showing poise beyond her years and proving she could be trusted to step into Caitlin Clark's shadow and not just hold her own, but thrive. And it wasn't just McDonald's show. Sophie Cunningham, the sharpshooter, who has been on a tear lately, once again found her rhythm from deep, splashing shots at critical junctures and stretching Phoenix's defense to the breaking point. Cunningham has clearly unlocked another level in her game, bringing not just shooting but grit, hustle, and leadership that elevates everyone around her. Then there's Kelsey Mitchell, the veteran guard who continues to embody what Indiana basketball is about: speed, aggressiveness, and an attacking mindset. Mitchell's presence steadied the Fever, keeping the offense organized and making sure the team never lost its edge, while Aaliyah Boston, the young centerpiece of this franchise, just keeps stacking double-doubles like it's second nature. With 4 straight to her name, Boston is putting together the best stretch of her career so far, showing the world that she's not just a talented player, but a rising superstar who can dominate games on both ends. Against Phoenix, she was an absolute force, scoring inside with power, cleaning the glass with determination, and closing the game with the kind of takeover performance that reminds everyone why she was a #1 overall pick. Indiana's chemistry is finally clicking, and whether Caitlin Clark is in the lineup or not, this team is proving they have the tools to compete and win. Just like Sophie Cunningham said weeks ago when she told reporters that this squad had figured it out and wasn't dependent on one player to carry the load. That prophecy is playing out in real time, and Indiana fans are loving every second of it. But if there was one subplot that stole the emotional spotlight, it was the return of Dana Bonner, the former Fever player who left under circumstances that still don't sit right with the fan base. From the moment she stepped onto the floor, the crowd in Indianapolis made their feelings known, raining down boos every time she touched the ball, stepped to the free throw line, or even so much as took a breath. This wasn't playful, heckling. It was raw, personal, and loud, a reminder that sports are about loyalty and pride just as much as they are about statistics and wins. Bonner could feel the weight of that rejection with every possession, and Indiana fans made sure she wouldn't forget it anytime soon. The message was clear: you left us, and now you're going to feel that smoke. That emotional intensity fueled the Fever's performance, as if the team collectively embraced the fans' passion and turned it into energy on the court. This wasn't just a basketball game, it was redemption, catharsis, and a declaration that this is a new era in Indiana. Sophie Cunningham might not be the biggest name in the league, but she embodies the grit and fire this fanbase craves, and, right now, it feels like this is her era as much as anyone else's. The Fever aren't just trying to win games, they're building a culture, and this night was proof that it's starting to take root. Still, the basketball itself was just as thrilling as the storylines surrounding it. Ari McDonald's career-high 27 points came on blistering efficiencies, 7 of 11 from the field and a perfect 10 of 10 from the line, and she played with the kind of confidence that makes you wonder how much higher her ceiling might be. She was fearless in attacking mismatches, smart in picking her spots, and relentless in setting the tone for Indiana's offense. Boston added 22 points and 12 rebounds, hitting 6 of 11 shots from the floor and knocking down 10 of 13 free throws, showing efficiency that any MVP candidate would envy. In the fourth quarter, when Phoenix briefly grabbed control, Boston simply decided enough was enough, scoring 17 in the final frame and rattling off 14 straight to single-handedly swing the game back to Indiana. That's superstar stuff, and it's the kind of performance that builds a reputation around the league. Phoenix had no answer for her combination of strength, touch, and composure, and by the final buzzer, Boston had left no doubt that she was the most dominant player on the court. What made this win even more impressive was the way Indiana's role players stepped up when called upon. Dantas, who didn't see the floor at all in the Fever's previous game against Chicago, came in hungry and determined, scoring 12 points in just 10 minutes, including 10 points in a blistering 6 to 7 minute stretch that flipped the momentum and gave Indiana the spark they needed. Add in 3 rebounds, and it was a perfect example of why depth matters when one player is down, another steps up. That depth was on display again with Chloe, who, despite being on just a 7-day hardship contract, gave Indiana 10 points in 13 minutes. Playing fearlessly and efficiently and making the most of her limited opportunity, it may be bittersweet knowing her time with the team might be short, but her impact is undeniable, and fans will remember how she contributed to this win. That's the thing about this Fever team right now. There's something about playing in Indiana that seems to bring out the best in players. Whether it's a rookie trying to find her place, a veteran hungry for redemption, or a bench piece getting rare minutes, everyone is stepping into their role and delivering. And that's why this win felt so complete. It wasn't just one star carrying the load. It was a collective effort where everyone contributed to the final product. Defensively, Indiana also showed grit and resilience. After falling behind by double digits, they locked in, clamped down on Phoenix's perimeter shooters, and forced tough shots late in the game. The Fever's ability to flip the switch defensively was just as important as their offensive firepower, proving that they can win in multiple ways and adapt to the flow of the game. Coach Stephanie White deserves credit for the way she's managing rotations and tailoring her matchups to the opponent. Sitting Dantas against Chicago and then unleashing her against Phoenix wasn't randomness, it was strategy, chess, not checkers. That kind of adaptability is what separates average coaches from great ones. And right now, White is pushing all the right buttons. She has her team buying in, playing for one another, and trusting that no matter who's on the floor, they have enough talent and chemistry to win. That's the kind of environment where players thrive, and the results are showing on the court. The Fever's comeback was also a testament to their mental toughness. Down by 12 points earlier in the game, it would have been easy to fold, especially without Caitlin Clark in the lineup, but this team refused to back down. Instead, they dug deep, leaned on Boston's dominance, rode McDonald's hot hand, and trusted their depth to carry them through. The energy in the building shifted with every defensive stop and every big bucket, and by the time the final buzzer sounded, it wasn't just a win, it was a statement. This Fever team is young, hungry, and building momentum, and nights like this prove they're not just a fun story, but a legitimate threat. They've got grit, they've got depth, and they've got star power, and that's a combination that can take them far.
But for Clark, we'll get more news on her status moving forward.
She's had to try and create a lot of her offense on her own with also
From the top to the bottom of the roster, the Indiana Fever are showing up in ways that fans have been waiting to see for years. And right now, it feels like this team isn't just out here trying to win basketball games. They are trying to make a statement to the league, to the critics, to the players who left them, and even to themselves that the rebuild is over, that the energy is shifting, and that this is finally a team that is becoming dangerous, resilient, and worth fearing every single night. And the way they handled Phoenix in this matchup was proof that something special is brewing in Indianapolis. From the jump, the Fever came with pace, ball movement, and confidence. But the storyline wasn't just about how they started, it was about how they finished. Because in a game where momentum swung back and forth, and mistakes could have derailed them, Indiana kept their composure and delivered a complete team performance led by breakout moments, clutch shooting, and defensive grit that had the fans inside Gainbridge Fieldhouse roaring like it was a playoff game. Sophie Cunningham deserves early flowers, because her performance in this one was electric and full of swagger. And the highlight sequence that people will be talking about was her cold-blooded 4-point play, followed by a dagger 3 in the fourth quarter. The kind of back-to-back gut punch that not only shifted the scoreboard but crushed Phoenix's confidence and sent the Fever crowd into chaos. And what's wild is that this is becoming normal for Sophie, who has reinvented herself over the past month into one of the most reliable shooters in the league. She has been showing up and showing out from deep, becoming a certified sniper with confidence dripping from every release. And while earlier in the season her rhythm was inconsistent, the Sophie Indiana has right now is on another level, stroking it from beyond the arc at a clip that forces defenses to adjust and opening up the floor for teammates like Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell to operate. And listen, I'm not saying Caitlin Clark's return will mess anything up, because Clark is a generational playmaker and floor spacer. But facts are facts. She has missed significant time this year, and in her absence, the Fever have been forced to discover new rhythms, new rotations, and new weapons, and in some ways, that's unlocked an even more balanced flow because the ball is moving differently. Players are stepping into larger roles, and confidence is spreading across the roster. Tonight was the perfect example of that because Ari McDonald delivered a performance that will live in her legacy. A straight-up star turn that showed what happens when preparation meets opportunity. McDonald played fearless, scoring from everywhere, hitting shots under pressure, and carrying herself like she belonged under the bright lights. While Aaliyah Boston saved her best for last with a fourth-quarter masterclass, absolutely dominating the paint, clamping down defensively, and scoring at will when it mattered most. The Fever's bench, too, came alive as true bench demons, providing energy, hustle, and instant offense that made it clear this wasn't just about star power, it was a collective win built from top to bottom. Coach Stephanie White has emphasized urgency all year, and it showed because everyone who stepped on the court made an impact. Everybody stayed locked in, and the final box score tells the story of balance and unselfishness with 5 players in double figures and nearly 7, which is a recipe for sustainable success. And if you zoom out to the big picture, you see the Fever now sitting 3 games above 500, stacking wins, and starting to climb the standings in a way that makes the playoff conversation not just possible but likely, which is something few outside Indiana would have predicted a couple of months ago. The numbers from this game were beautiful. 51% shooting from the field, 45% from 3, and 84% from the stripe, which is elite efficiency at any level. And while the 17 turnovers were an issue, they were balanced out by 38 total rebounds, physical defense, and a team mentality that refused to back down no matter what Phoenix tried to throw at them. This wasn't gimmicky basketball. It wasn't